If you want glasses that are incredibly comfortable, basically impossible to break, and look pretty cool as well, then these are the glasses for you. And in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the manufacturing process that makes these unique frames possible. I'm going to be showcasing the best 5 styles from the collection, and I'm going to be taking you to Iceland to reveal the brand new limited edition white gold series. So hi, I'm Robert, Style and Vision Consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and it's my job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. And for many of my clients, if not most, their perfect glasses are Reykjavik Eyes. These frames are designed in Iceland, made in Italy using titanium sourced from Japan, and that combination of design, materials and craftsmanship is what makes these the best glasses in the world. And I don't say that lightly. I've traveled across the globe to meet the world's best eyewear manufacturers. Nobody is making frames like these guys. So, how is a Reykjavik Eyes frame made? Well, this kit details the actual manufacturing process behind them. You see, each of these frames starts off as a single flat sheet of titanium. So imagine a square piece of titanium this thin. It's incredibly thin. And the parts of the frame are then laser cut from that flat sheet. You have these 2 pieces, well, you'd have 3 pieces because you've got 2 of these. The frame at this point is completely flat, and it's then folded into the shape of a pair of glasses. So initially, that means folding the hinge joint here, which the temple then slots into, and then the nose pads are finally folded out of that sheet as well. These parts are then tumbled, initially in large drums of ceramic pebbles, removes any roughness or defects from it. And then to get a super smooth finish, that process is repeated with wood chips, which provides the perfect surface for applying the unique Reykjavik Eyes painting process. And I say painting, but that's not really how it's done. It's an annealing process where the color is actually baked into the titanium. This is done at 83 degrees Celsius, so super hot, and it means that the paintwork on these titanium frames virtually never chips off, which is unusual. Even the best Japanese factories, which are known for producing the best titanium frames, can't make painted titanium like the Italian factory that Reykjavik Eyes use. And within the collection of Reykjavik Eyes, you have a lot of beautiful, vibrant colors, and it allows those kind of colors to adhere really well. I've virtually never seen a Reykjavik Eyes frame with the paintwork chipped off, and that is super unusual for titanium. So that is how they're made, and this is what a completed frame looks like. And because this whole pair of glasses is made from one piece of titanium, it means you can do this. This frame is virtually unbreakable. I'm pulling this with maximum tension, literally full force. And the frame has just come back to shape. Now that clicking sound that you can hear is simply the lenses popping out from the titanium chassis, because obviously the lenses aren't flexible like the titanium. So the worst thing you can do to these glasses is make the lens come out, which can then be reinserted easily without the need for a screw. So this construction that Reykjavik Eyes have mean that the whole pair of glasses is completely screwless. It's also completely without any welds or solders. And there are no springs because the frame material itself is naturally springy. So what that all means is that when you put a pair of Reykjavik Eyes glasses on, there's zero pressure on your face because the frame is so flexible and so lightweight due to the thinness of material that's used. So I'm wearing these glasses now. I can't tell that I'm wearing them. If I take them off and I close my eyes, there's no difference in sensation from wearing them to not wearing them. And there are no glasses on the planet that give you that effect. Trust me, I've looked. So you have this unique combination of comfort and durability, because usually lightweight glasses tend to be fragile and durable glasses tend to be heavy. Reykjavik Eyes hit the sweet spot. They were conceived by my friend Gunnar Gunnarsson, who is probably my biggest inspiration in the eyewear industry. Because when I was first starting out in my family's optician, he just released this concept. Well, actually the original prototype of this concept, which won the Red Dot Design Award. And for me, it was hugely inspiring to see glasses completely reinvented. And indeed, Gunnar's story is similar to mine. He started out at his parents' optician, and he realized that everyone who was coming in with broken glasses, it was due to the same reasons. Either the screw had come out or a solder had failed. And he set about creating a concept that solved all of those problems. The design was iterated on over the years, and this was the 3rd generation of his design, which he considered complete, at which point he stepped away from Reykjavik Eyes. But with his design philosophy, they've continued to bring out new styles. And with the exception of the 3 special models that I'm about to show you in the second half of this video, Here are the 5 best styles that Reykjavik Eyes make. And we're going to start with the Gunnar, named after Gunnar himself. And it actually features a slightly thicker rim than most of the Reykjavik Eyes models do, which gives it a little bit more boldness than most of the frames within their collection. We also see a textured pattern on the lower half of this frame. The shaping is unique with this geometric design, and I think that pairs very nicely with the slightly lifted double brow bar. And number 4, Reykjavik Eyes have a huge catalogue of eyewear, and they really have designs for pretty much any size and shape of face. And the Maria is a great pick for ladies. This is very stylized, especially in the dark green colour that contrasts with that beautiful blue accent in the top corners. It gives it a cat's eye aesthetic. And this is a slightly oversized frame. It's meant to be worn large. It's a really fashionable take on that minimalistic Scandinavian design philosophy. It's a great option for ladies who want something different and want to stand out, but still want something practical for day-to-day life. One of the thickest, if not the thickest model the Reykjavik Eyes make, using an extra thick cut of titanium, it's still super thin from this angle by the way, is the Runar. Now this frame is a more conventional shape, but looks so sharp because of the glossy black finish on that thicker cut of titanium. And I love with this frame the way that it tapers inwards, and in the top corners, the way it accents that negative space, which is where the lens is held under tension. When you see these frames flat like that, it's just amazing, and you see them from a different angle, and all of a sudden they're bold. It's a really interesting dichotomy actually on this style that makes them really cool. They're kind of eye-catching in a very subtle way, which sounds contradictory, but actually it isn't when you see them in person. And number 2, one of the newest models is the Reykjavik Eyes Asla. Now Asla is an awesome geometric shape, one that tends to suit a really wide variety of faces. I've paired this with many different people with really different features, and that's because geometric shapes like this are truly versatile. Almost anybody can wear this style of glasses as long as the proportions are right for them. And I particularly like it with the teal coloration, which might not be for everyone, but it's a lot more wearable than it looks at first glance. When you see these frames off the face, you think, oh, that's a bit of a tricky colour to wear. But actually on, it's much easier, particularly because this is made in the traditional thin titanium that Reykjavik Eyes are most known for. You also have this contrasting brushed grey finish on the side, which is a really nice touch. Stops them being too colourful. Now this frame does come in more neutral colours as well. In fact, all of these frames come in other colour options, but I particularly love the Asla in teal. And at number 1, my most stylish Reykjavik Eyes frame, except for what we're about to cover, is the Reykjavik Eyes Alba. This is a really innovative rimless design with the floating brow bar. So you've seen aviator frames like this before, of course. Now, obviously Reykjavik Eyes' take on it is fairly unique, but it's nowhere near as unique as the rimless aviator style. Because when you have that floating brow bar, it's such an interesting look, such an intriguing look, one where you kind of have to take a second glance at it, especially when you see this frame paired with a tint and a custom shape, many of which we featured on the channel over the years. This is one of the best frames in the world to customize because when you add an interesting shape, combined with that floating brow bar, it's a really cool aesthetic. And that is why it's almost my number 1 most stylish Reykjavik Eyes frame. Because I've been working behind the scenes with Reykjavik Eyes to design a new finish that will elevate these frames even more. Introducing white gold. And now let's head to Iceland, find out what this is all about. This is the Reykjavik Eyes White Gold Collection, a limited edition series of the 3 frames that I wear myself personally, recreated in an incredible new finish. We have the Fuller, whose round shape combines perfectly with the raised double brow bar. The Rijkaard, an understated yet cool and classy aviator-esque style, and the Alvar, a quiet yet futuristic geometric silhouette. And wearing my own new Reykjavik Eyes white gold Rijkaard frame, I was headed for the glaciers of Iceland. As I was standing on a mixture of volcanic ash and solid ice, it struck me that nowhere in the world is like this place. So I guess it's no surprise that in perhaps the world's most unique location, a completely unique approach to glasses was conceived. And with the white gold series, I think we took it up a notch. These frames have always been the best of the best in comfort and durability, but I definitely think you could also argue that Reykjavik Eyes frames are not the most stylish glasses. They are cool in a typically Scandinavian minimalistic fashion, but they're not up there with the world's most stylish glasses. Well, I think this new white gold series is. Back to the Reykjavik, which is an overall fairly rectangular frame, but manages to still be interesting thanks to some cool edges around the bridge and the way that it tapers slightly inwards at the sides. And I completed my pair with a blue 25% gradient tint and ruby flash coating, which in my personal opinion is a stunning match. And I think if you are going for a minimalistic frame like this and you want it to be cool, a tint is kind of an essential. I ventured deeper into the glacier and eventually into the ice caves, which proved to be the most picturesque location possible for photographing any glasses, let alone something as special as this. You see, these frames have been on a journey. The beta titanium itself is sourced from Japan. That's then shipped over to Italy in the specialist factory that performs the laser cutting. The bare frames were then shipped back to a facility in Japan, the only location in the world that we could find to produce exactly this coloration. As you can see, especially on the Alvar, which has a matte finish to it, it's neither gold nor silver. Very neutral colour, which makes it not too dressy, perfect for everyday wear, while still looking luxurious. That is what I wanted to achieve, and that is what we managed to achieve. It took 18 months. Since I got them, the Alvar has probably been the pair of glasses that I've worn the most overall. It's such an effortless style that it still manages to look futuristic in that geometric shape. This environment was simply awe-inspiring, and its epic waterfalls are a sight to behold. And the Fuller, for me, is the most stylish Reykjavik Eyes frame, and I particularly wanted to photograph it at this location. It literally feels like being on an alien planet. Contrasted against the sharp volcanic earth and the breathtaking power of the water in the background, I think it shows how cool these frames truly are. And all three designs I'm incredibly proud of. This is my first time collaborating with any eyewear brand, and I'm so glad that it was Reykjavik Eyes, my most recommended glasses. And I still think for most people, the best glasses in the world. But before I headed home, I needed to stop over in Reykjavik to meet an old friend. Gunnar Gunnarsson has been an inspiration for me and a mentor over the years, and I had to gift him his very own Reykjavik Eyes white gold Reykjavik. There are only 50 pairs of each of these styles available in the world, each one individually numbered, and I had to give Gunnar his favourite number, number 5.